examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Howard works from home. I try to keep things professional. But stuff happens. Now Howard and his wife are working with Community First on a home equity loan to make renovations to his home with no closing costs and special low rates, so Howard can build the office of his dreams.
So live your best life
with Community First. Learn more at communityfirstfl.org. Member NCUA.
Men, suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? Frustrated taking pills that don't work? Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough treatments with men lasting longer than ever without pain or surgery.
Call now. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results right in the office. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now. 904-664-8221. That's 904-664-8221.
The North American Freshwater Turtle Research Group is a nonprofit organization committed to zero turtle extinction. May 23rd is World Turtle Day, and we're kicking off that week with our third annual Drink Beer Save Turtles fundraiser at Bold City Brewery May 17th from 5 to 9. Join volunteers from TSA, our local Team Terrapin, and Jacksonville Zoo staff while you meet and mingle, and we'll have several turtles for everyone to meet. The brewery is even making a special brew for the event. This is for all ages. For more info, email thootman@turtlesurvival.org.
Sometimes a family needs a little help to deal with life stresses. You can contribute to happy, healthy childhoods with a few simple steps. Notice families under stress. Offer a helping hand. Give your time. Talk about healthy child development. Connect a family with resources. Contributing to a great childhood can be as easy as being a good neighbor. For more, preventchildabusefl.org. This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. The reigning NBA champion Nuggets can advance to the Western Conference Finals with a win tonight in Game 6 in Minneapolis. After losing the first 2 games at home, the Nuggets have won 3 straight. Timberwolves coach Chris Finch.
Comes down to Game 6 at home, and that's exactly where we want to be. A lot of series left. Got to force it into a Game 7, but most importantly, we got to regroup, get guys focused in on what we need to do, and they've been good at that all season, so they'll be ready.
Chris Finch. Coverage for that one starts at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and TV. First round of the PGA Championship at Valhalla today. Xander Schauffele holds the lead at 9 under after a major championship record-tying 62. Scotty Scheffler, in his first tournament after the birth of his first child, holes out from 169 yards at the first hole for an eagle. First-round coverage right now on ESPN and ESPN+. The Patriots signed center David Andrews to a 1-year contract extension. His deal now runs through the 2025 season.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. Close Shave America. Close Shave Barbasol.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
Ready? Yeah. Turn off your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome to the Aaron Schachter Show. It's a Friday edition on a Thursday. It helps us get to the end of the week, Brian.
Oh, I was like, is there something you want to tell me about the schedule?
That laughing is Brian Middleton, our super producer.
Big Shaq in the building.
Ooh, I like that. Come on, is that a fat joke? feeling that kind of way today. Call me Big Shaq. Oh.
I'm fat.
Came on at just the right time. Schedule's out, Brian. We've been waiting. Talked yesterday about all the leaks. The leaky leakers were liars to a certain degree. I was promised a Thanksgiving game. I was not delivered a Thanksgiving game from the Jacksonville Jaguars. No, quite the opposite. We did get 2 primetime games. I think that's good news. Unfortunately, the not good news, neither one of them are home games. Neither one of them are home games.
Is that bad news?
I do think it's bad news. I like it when Jacksonville's on TV.
I do.
People go, oh, yeah, there are cities in Florida not named Orlando, Tampa, and Miami.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
All I'll say is, selfishly,
okay,
as someone who is credentialed to go to these games, and people may or may not ask or look for you at those games, every home game, since they credentialed you and put your name down.
Okay.
When there's a primetime game, that means that everything,
gets a little tight.
Starts late. And if you work the next day,
it's tough.
I'm like, hey, man, listen, all this close overtime game playing, we're not doing that on Monday Night Football. Let's not do that. It's already 11:30 p.m. I got somewhere to be in 5 hours.
You're a young buck. You can handle it.
You're a little selfish,
you
but
can handle the light sleep.
Aaron, I'm not you. I know that you work on like 30 minutes or less. Anything more than 45 minutes, it's bad for your health. It's so backwards.
I got a good one last night. It was like 5 hours.
Look at you.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Woke
Sweet
up
spot.
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, Brian.
Hasn't yawned all day.
Even though I just slammed a Red Bull. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Schedule's out. We're going to go through it game by game. We'll get predictions from me and Brian and from you, too. If you want to join in, 904-362-9901. Your favorite game on the schedule. Maybe other games. Doesn't have to be Jaguars related. We'll look at those as well. Where are the storylines this season? We'll even take a look at some overreactions. It's an overreaction Thursday on a Thursday. We'll take a look at some of those overreactions and judge whether they are or not. And then some other NFL news and notes, an update on the Netflix games. Tyreek Hill back in the headlines. You know we like when Tyreek Hill's back in the headline. And yes, Brian, it is a Sophie Hall story.
No, it's not.
It is.
You teasing me.
I got 2 Tyreek Hill stories. Neither one of them have to do with football.
Ooh-wee.
Tyreek Hill up to no good right now. In the news for all the wrong reasons. And then, of course, finally, we got one of my favorite games. It's Dead or Alive.
Oh, yeah.
A Brian Middleton Production. But we begin, Brian, with a little bit of breaking news. Just minutes before we went on the air, the Jacksonville Jaguars announcing a couple of roster moves. Nothing too significant, but as we still have question marks in that secondary, the team has decided to add a few more veterans before OTAs. You got Terrell Edmonds and Trey Flowers being added to the team, as well as Ty Summers. They brought Ty in yesterday for a little bit of a workout. Now, Ty Summers is a linebacker, and he hasn't really played too much in his career. 20 and 21, he played in Green Bay. 22, he's actually on Jacksonville's practice squad. I think he was elevated for a few games and then went over to New Orleans, where he also played in 23, I believe, for our new defensive coordinator. And now he's here. So a couple of connections to Jacksonville for Ty Summers, the linebacker, who will be brought into camp to OTA to compete. For Terrell Edmonds, I'm talking about a safety who's been known to rush the passer from time to time. As a matter of fact, as far as PFF is concerned, Terrell Edmonds, not too shabby just at rushing the passer, but that rush defense as well. Good tackling grades. Wily veteran. He's going to be 27 years old when the season starts. We'll see if he can catch on and play well enough in OTAs and this offseason and preseason to make the roster. Trey Flowers, a similar situation. Trey's going to be about 28, 29 years old as the season starts. Played his first couple of years in Seattle. Then went to Cincinnati for a little spell, 2 years, and then played in Atlanta. Again, connections to the defensive coaching staff here in Jacksonville for his time in Atlanta for 2023. A guy who has been credited with really good grades for his rush defense, which you don't do too much of in the secondary, but when he's asked to do so, apparently he shows improves. Tackling grades fairly high. Unfortunately, for us fans, and maybe even for Trey, it's the coverage grades for the quarterback that don't exactly look fantastic. And so hopefully he can improve in time for the start of the season and land himself a spot on the Jacksonville Jaguars 2024 roster. Let's get to why we're all here, Brian. It's not because of these three veterans trying out for the team, trying to make it onto a squad before OTAs hit. It's about the schedule release. Waiting with bated breath, everybody was last night. 8 o'clock hit. Social media started to light up. Light up. I'm assuming you've seen the Jaguars' social media schedule release video, Brian. Is that a safe assumption?
Yeah, I saw it.
All right. They didn't try to make the attempt at funny, although they did take a couple of shots. They didn't make the attempt at funny. They kind of made the attempt at cool, art, nostalgia, retro. Little callback to the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, it's fine.
You weren't impressed?
No. I mean, I'm impressed because there's a lot of work that goes into that.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. The animations, I liked it a lot.
It's a lot of work, but I mean,
But if you were looking for comedy, you weren't finding it in this.
If you're comparing it to last year, it's just like, all right, they were like, let's be more efficient.
Remind me last year. Do you remember?
They wrote the script.
Oh, the NFL script.
Yeah.
That's right. Now I remember. That was a good one.
Oh, it's great.
This one was a good one, too.
I mean,
It depends what you're at. Like, if you're out there expecting funny, then you were probably disappointed by it.
Not even that. Aaron, it's like last year was Nick Saban. This year, it's the guy from Washington that's coaching Alabama now. He's probably good. It's good, right?
Yeah.
But that was great.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I respect it. Anyway.
Sounds like a compliment. I think you're giving a compliment.
I was getting there.
To the 2022 social media team.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, here's what we learned. And forgive me, I really should have kept track of the leaking we were doing yesterday. I tried to give the disclaimer that none of it was official, and it would change, and it did. But I would love to compare and contrast, because there are definitely differences here. I am kind of curious when it comes to leaking the schedule, what's more likely? Do you think it's Twitter accounts just looking for clout, or do you think it's people who believe they've got the correct info through wherever they've leaked or gotten their leaks from?
Yes, but more so the first thing you said.
The clout thing.
Absolutely.
It really does depend on the account, doesn't it? Like, obviously, Rappaport's not out there leaking for the clout, just making stuff up. But at the same time, you may find like a local account or one of these accounts that just popped up for scheduling yesterday.
Okay.
Who is trying to say they know something they don't.
See, I thought you were going another route. But
you know what, man? I know where you thought I was. You thought I was going to start shooting at different people in this city.
Well, you were about to, but you made a detour.
Listen.
I respect it.
Yesterday,
it's not the Aaron Schachter. I know,
yesterday, I got a little off the rails shooting at everybody you suggested I shoot at on this show.
Whoa, don't drag me into this.
Yeah,
I didn't suggest.
You spun me.
I said there's a diss track to be had.
You spun me into a spiral, and then I was just out here making a fool of myself.
Burning all kinds of bridges.
Bridges? We're long past bridges.
It's like you're one of those huge ships. We've run into bridges, just tearing it down.
We're a barge running into a bridge. We've burned the boats at this point, Brian. Forget bridges.
All this we.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're associated, bro. You think you're going to the press box for the Jags game and they're going to be like, oh, there's Brian, not the guy on that idiot show?
Hey, man, listen. You know I'm gonna stand in the gap for you, man. But if I dap up someone, from your ops.
Yeah, I better not see pictures of you standing there giving love to the enemy.
Pictures. Oh, man.
I'm gonna have the spies out there.
Drinking the free soda in the press box. Oh, boy.
We start the season, Brian, week 1 in Miami at the Dolphins. Tough game to start the season. Not only are you playing the Dolphins pretty much in the summer, September 8th, Florida summer. But, I mean, I'd much rather play the Dolphins later on down the line when Tua's got his injury, whatever that's going to be. After Tyreek Hill, strains a hamstring, 31 years old, running 80 miles an hour. He can't sit out any games, Brian. One of the stories I'm going to tell you, you're going to see, he needs more child support.
Got to play.
He's got to play. My guy signed a $30 million a year contract. He's got about 35 cents left.
Yeah, man. Baby mamas is like, thank you.
He's got to play.
Thank you.
But some would say an improved Dolphins offense with OBJ. Some would say
Who said that?
Nobody. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
A regressed Dolphins team, losing a lot of the pieces on the offensive line and on the defense. Nonetheless, tough game to start out the season.
I don't know how tough it is. I think with a team like Miami, who deals with timing, who deals with, let me get into a groove, and speed, I would rather them early on in the season versus later on in the season. The Tua injury is a good point, though. I mean, you could sway me by saying Tua's probably not going to be as injury-free as he was last season, this season. But the heat doesn't bother me. Jacksonville, it doesn't bother me. It might be like 3 degrees hotter down there, but it's just as humid here. So I don't think that that's going to affect the Jags in the way that it would affect other teams that are not used to that heat. But catching Miami, who was a playoff team, and the offense will probably still be hitting on a lot of cylinders like it was hitting last year. Let me catch you in the first couple of weeks while you still you have some continuity, but you're still figuring things out. And defensively, you're figuring things out for real.
I would actually say the reverse is accurate for Jacksonville. While the offense for Miami has consistency with their main players, Tua, Mostert, Achane, Tyreek, Waddle, what Jacksonville does not have is consistency in the secondary.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't being clear. I meant Miami. I know they have continuity, but they're still, listen, everybody's early on in the season. It's not always popping 100%.
Wouldn't you feel more comfortable if the Jacksonville secondary had more time to gel before they faced maybe the best wide receiver duo in the league?
Nah, get it out the way. Why would I want to face Miami if people, like, the sky is falling for most people who are looking at the first quarter of the season? Why do I want to face them week 7 if we're potentially 2-3 or 2-4?
Because I would like to give my defensive backs time to learn each other, to communicate, to get used to the new scheme, for the team to get settled in. You have all new defensive coaching staff. I'd like to give it a couple of weeks to kind of settle in there.
What we doing in June and July? In August? What we doing?
Practicing. We're talking about practice, not a game. Practice.
Hey, man, get it out the way and get the win. How about that?
Okay.
But I get your point. Your point is well taken.
Week 2, we travel back up 95. Home game against the Cleveland Browns. Last time we had the Browns, it did not look good. It did not look good. A different scenario. Different teams, really. Different scenario. Hopefully we see Deshaun Watson this time. Isn't that weird to say?
Yeah.
But it's true.
Disrespectful, but yeah, I'm with you.
Hasn't looked impressive yet. Maybe this is the year he catches on. But it hasn't been there for the Browns. Tough defense. Tough defense.
Elite.
And then you don't know really where Nick Chubb's at in the recovery cycle.
Yeah, I was reading up on that. It says that he's still going to miss like nearly half of this season.
Wow.
For the Browns, but there's been some reevaluating going on, so that may drop down. But
I mean, even aside from missing time because the injury is still healing, how about the fact that the guy's had, 3 major or 4 major devastating injuries to those knees? How much confidence are you going to have in those legs?
He keeps coming back. So, I mean,
shout out to Nick Chubb, but
yeah,
you got to wonder if he's going to be the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Cleveland. Week 3. Going up to New York, upstate, at the Buffalo Bills.
Not worried at all.
Not worried either. A lot of people giving the Buffalo Bills a lot of credit.
And I'm like, why?
Over under at 10.5 wins. I'm like, what league are you watching?
10.5?
What? Yeah, exactly. What do you think? Josh Allen plays all the positions on the field? Buffalo Bills aren't winning 10 games this year. I'd be willing to put something substantial on it.
Wow, bold prediction. I need a sound effect for that and writing it down when you do something like that. They're not winning 10. They're not winning 10. I just want to make sure I understand what you're
mocking me right now.
No, I'm going to find a sound effect. I'll run it by you before we start doing it in the show and be like, every time you do something that's crazy to me, I'm going to play it and we'll write it down. Anyway.
You're mocking me. It's okay.
I'm not. I'm with you. I'm not worried about Buffalo.
I'm just saying a lot of people think that's going to be a good team. I think they're 3rd place in the East.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like if the Patriots didn't suck so bad, you might have a conversation for lower. I think they're in a period of transition. Last year, I was one of the only voices to call the regression, and I do believe they are full on in a period of transition.
Okay.
With the squad they've got, that is not a playoff team. Sorry.
Side question. You hate the Giants.
I dislike them, sure.
No, a whole lot. You dislike them a whole lot.
I mean, not more than the Bills per se.
Oh, okay, I was going to ask you that. I was like, you know what? I just realized Buffalo's in New York.
Yeah.
Which is a thing.
It's not really considered in New York. People who aren't from New York consider Buffalo part of New York.
I thought the map, the United States?
The map lied to you.
New York, okay.
People who live in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, look at Buffalo and they go, oh.
Another state.
That's Canada.
Heard.
Yeah.
Heard.
Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester, Canada. Very much so.
Thank you.
So shout out to my Canadian friends in Buffalo. We'll see you guys week 3. Now, week 4, we get to the AFC South business. Big time game in Houston for first place in the AFC South. Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, Sunday 1 o'clock game. As a matter of fact, I forgot to mention that Buffalo game, by the way. It's a Monday nighter. First of 2 primetime games on the schedule. Shout out to the Jags for getting 2 primetime games.
Yeah, man.
But a 1 p.m. game with the Houston Texans, I feel like that would have been a good opportunity for a little nighttime action. But fine, okay. C.J. Stroud, Trev, dueling quarterbacks, big-time game. That's a big one on the calendar.
It is.
You follow it up with another AFC matchup. You got another Sunday 1 p.m. game. This one in Jacksonville against the Colts. What do you think the odds are you see Anthony Richardson week 5?
Like on the field playing?
Yes.
I think it's going to be above, 85, 90% chance.
I have a feeling this dude, just his playing style.
He's figuring out how to fall.
He can be a game wrecker, but I think like he's a bulldozer. I think he's going to have to learn how to use that body in a way that doesn't put him on the sideline.
I think that's something that's probably being stressed up there in Indy ever since the injury.
But a lot of these young guys who have great talent running the ball, great talent, breaking tackles, there's a hesitancy to sit in the pocket and let plays develop.
Yeah, it's not natural to them more times than not. But they learn usually after the first or second major injury that, hey, you know what? Everybody's athletes to some degree. Let me sit my tail down. Let me slide down here.
Fair enough.
So,
week 6, we get on the plane, we hop across the pond, and we head. Say it, Brian. Where are they going?
Tottenham Hotspur.
Yesterday, it was a little bit different for you. I'm glad you practiced.
Is it okay?
I believe it's more closer to Tottenham.
Tottenham.
But it's Tottenham, yeah.
Hold on. Tottenham
Hotspur.
They're like taking out some letters. Tottenham.
I think they just like de-stressing or de-emphasizing.
That's not what the letters say.
It does. It does say Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah.
For the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Home game for the Bears, but not really. We do get to see Caleb Williams up close and personal. That should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You do get to see Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Rome Odunze up close and personal. That won't exactly be fun. I get a little nervous now when the Jaguars are playing teams with big-time passing attacks. And we don't necessarily know that the Bears have one. We haven't seen Caleb Williams throw an official NFL pass yet. But it does seem like they're going to have a decent passing attack.
Yeah, they're going to be a problem.
It makes me a little bit nervous. We're worrying about receivers 1 and 2 when a team can go 4 deep on you. And that's what the Bears can do with Cole Kmet. You got 4 decent, if not great, receiving options for Caleb Williams. The big question is, will the offensive line stand him up long enough to hit him?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Week 7, don't get on the plane. Let's take a bus or a train because we are headed to Wembley. Home game for the Jaguars against the New England Patriots. We get to see rookie Drake May up close and personal. I really
hope.
On the
field?
I mean, yes, I believe so. It might
Coach
be Jacoby
Mayo.
Brissett, but I'm hoping it's Drake May because what you really want to see there is a rookie quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What's the likelihood percentage-wise that we've run the score up so high that Mac Jones gets to run out there in the fourth quarter?
Do you think New England calls Jacksonville sideline as like, can we have Mac back for a quarter or two?
Nah, man. Cook.
You think he's coming
Mac
out for
Jones
the Jaguars?
revenge game.
I like it. It's a good story. Hey, Trev, take a seat. It's Mac's turn.
We up 30.
He's out there seeing Belichick's head on every single player. Very much like the water boy. Week 8. We're already at the end of October. Man, time flies. A little less than halfway through the season. Week 8, back to Jacksonville from London to play NFC North darlings, the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, Romeo Doubs. It's not Christian Watkins. I forget the other receiver's name. Young guy. Watson. That's what it was. Thank you, Brian. It's a tough game. It's a tough defense. That's the other thing that kind of scares me with any of these matchups. It's teams with big-time passing attacks, which the Packers do have a decent passing attack, and then teams with big-time pass defenses. And the Packers do have a big-time pass defense. Mm-hmm. Good pass rush, good corners. If you eliminate the passing attack of the Jaguars, you get a little nervous about that run attack. What you saw last year wasn't a lot to instill confidence in you.
Well, let's see them healthy.
Sure, you want to see how it changed. Yes. But you can't say the word revamped. You changed one guy.
Oh, but it was probably, arguably the quarterback of the offensive line. That's what I always call the center.
And that's what a lot of people call the center. So you're not alone.
I'm sorry.
That being said.
Let me have my shine, man.
I'm sorry, Brian. You're right. You're right. You did it. Way to go. That being said, we don't know what it looks like on the ground yet.
You're fair.
We don't know. So Green Bay Packers could be a tough game at the end of October, which brings us to the beginning of November, Week 9, another huge game. The Jags head on the road, and I'll tell you against who when we return on the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901. We'll finish running through all 17 weeks, and then we'll talk some predictions. What's your win-loss prediction? What's Vegas saying? Are you in line with them? Are you optimistic? Love to hear what you think. 904-362-9901. It's the Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly sunny and a pretty hot day today. We'll top out near 90 degrees, but 60
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Proud to offer a huge selection of both lab-grown and natural diamonds at the lowest prices guaranteed.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Controversial cop training.
I love violence. I love shooting.
Banned in 9 states, but now it's coming to Florida, laced with profanity.
Shut the up.
And so-called locker room talk.
You gotta be a gigolo.
Action News Jack's Megan Moriarty shows you what's behind the training doors.
Could we talk to you a little bit about the conference?
Depends on what it's about. Is this raw police coaching headed in the wrong direction or making Jacksonville safer? Today at 5:45 on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jacks.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, an avocado consultant from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Dave Ortega. Okay, Dave, here's your question. Your house is not bad in the morning, but by the afternoon, your AC can barely keep up, even with the curtains closed. What do you do?
Oh, can I buy a vowel?
Not that kind of show, Dave.
Can I spin the wheel?
Yeah, we don't even have a wheel, Dave.
Can I phone a friend? Oh, can I call Bueller?
That's right, Dave. Call Bueller Air and Plumbing to assess your home's airflow and sunlight patterns and let us optimize your air conditioning so that you are cool.
This is the happiest day of my life.
Well, you gotta get out more, Dave.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Spring has sprung and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or being threatened by the IRS that your wages are about to be garnished or bank accounts are going to be levied? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has professionals ready to fight for you. Their enrolled agents, tax attorneys, and CPAs have saved millions of dollars for taxpayers just like you. They won't just resolve your tax problems, they'll most importantly protect your wages, bank accounts, and all your assets from being taken by the IRS. Call for a free consultation. 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174 or go to alliestaxrelief.com. Do you suffer from bugxiety or a fear of bugs? Zevo has the answer. Try Zevo insect killer sprays to get rid of those pesky bugs in your home. Zevo sprays kill up to 20 different types of bugs with ingredients you can feel good about. They're safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Breathe easy. You've got Zevo. Zevo. People friendly. Bug deadly. Ant roach and fly, ant roach and spider, and fly gnat and fruit fly variants.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks Girls. Come have lunch with us every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and listen to the Young and Norvell Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. Breaking down the Jaguars' schedule release. Finally official. Not only do we know who, not only do we know where, we know when. You know, when you say it like that, it doesn't really seem like too much information came out yesterday. Like, we just have times. We've known the locations. We've known the teams. Why is it so exciting? I'm not going to sit here and lie and say it's not. I was waiting the whole day for it. I was waiting the whole week for it, checking the leaks and everything.
I mean, for planning purposes.
What have you planned? What are you now planning?
Well, not me, but people who actually travel with the team.
I guess that's fair.
They're excited.
Shout out to Bolt City. I think they're doing Miami and Vegas for their 2 travel trips.
Nice.
Not a bad gig if you can get it. Not a bad gig. We were, I think, at the beginning of November. Yes, week 9. Jaguars play their second primetime game. This one a Sunday nighter. 8:20 start at the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of people calling this a revenge game for Doug. I'm not sure if I feel like it's a revenge game for Doug. It's been a few years. Granted, I'm sure there's still people in Philly who he likes and loves, still talks to, maybe even people in that organization. I mean, who knows? But a revenge game? Like, I get it if it's the next year. But 3 years later? 4 years later?
And you already lost. Like, the revenge game already happened.
Yeah. So I'm not there on the revenge. If anything, I'm calling, the Tennessee game a revenge game. Keeping us out of the playoffs. I'm calling the Houston games revenge games. I'm calling the Philly game a revenge game. Week 10, we're back in Jacksonville. Take the long trip from Philadelphia, wipe all the dirt off of our shoulders, and we're back in Duval to take on the young upstart Minnesota Vikings and another rookie quarterback, most likely. Either Sam Darnold or another rookie quarterback.
Thought you were referencing Sam Darnold for a second. I thought you were going with a Darnold slander.
No,
right
man,
there.
I like Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
But here's the thing. There are 2 things that keep J.J. McCarthy from playing against the Jaguars in Week 10. Number one, if Darnold is cooking, if he's lighting them up, then maybe you don't get to see McCarthy up front. And number two, if McCarthy's hurt. Because in reality, I think they want him on the field this year. I don't know if he starts the year, but I think they want him on the field. I think a lot of that has to do with Justin Jefferson. Just my opinion. Gets tougher the very next week. Headed to Detroit. Detroit Lions in the Dome, week 11 for a 1 o'clock game. Then they follow that up with a week 12 bye. Interesting here. Very late bye in the season. Definitely not used to seeing that with the Jaguars, especially when you consider the London games are week 6 and 7. You go through a stretch of the season where you're playing a few games in a real tight window, and you're waiting until week 12 to get that bye. I do think one of the pros of having a week 12 bye is if you are on a playoff run, if things are developing well, you're getting towards the end of the season, you may need to give those boys a little rest. You may need to give the offensive line a little breather because they've been blocking so well. You may need to give Trev a little breather because he's been carrying this team on his shoulders for the last 12 weeks. So week 12 bye, I could kind of get with that. Week 13, here comes the revenge game. Houston Texans in Jacksonville. 1 o'clock start as well. AFC South, once again in week 14, another 1 o'clock start in Tennessee. Condolences to the Jaguars for having to go back to Tennessee. It's an awful place to be.
Wow.
Just saying.
Pew.
Just saying. No offense.
Okay.
No offense to Nashville.
Okay. 7 seconds later after you've let this statement settle in.
No. No offense intended. It's just an awful place to be. No offense.
Just up and down.
Just a terrible, awful place.
When you touch down at the airport, getting your bags out of a
second
plane.
Worst city only to New Orleans. No offense to New Orleans. Or Tennessee. Or
Smells.
Nashville.
New Orleans smells.
New Orleans stinks. It smells like one big vomit pit.
I don't know what they got going on.
It smells like they clean the streets with vomit. That's what it smells like. It smells like they think beer is good for Windex. That's what it smells like in New Orleans.
That's a great creative description, by the way.
It smells like beer, vomit, and po' boys in New Orleans. Hate it. Nashville, at least, doesn't smell like vomit.
It's just terrible.
It's just an awful place to be. No offense, obviously. No offense. The Jets coming to town week 15.
Okay. All right.
Jets coming to town week 15. I'm excited about that game. 4 people have asked me if I'm going to that game.
Are you going to that game?
I'm not going to that game.
Wow.
I'm bad luck. Last time I went to a Jets-Jags game, I think the Jags trounced them. I said I will never go to a Jets-Jags game ever again.
Is this a Zach Wilson-led team?
I think it was before that.
Oh, okay.
Might have been a Sam Darnold team.
You know, maybe it's time to break that superstition.
I'm going to stay away.
Okay.
I got a better seat on my couch anyway. You can have the credentials, man. You go dap up the competition.
Taking pictures.
Take some pictures. Ask for a job.
That's where we're going with it.
They'll tell me if they got any openings or something.
Interesting.
Week 16. Here comes the road trip for the Brigade. Raiders game. Week 17. Back to Everbank for Tennessee. You remember last year they closed out the season against Tennessee with the playoffs on the line. This year, you could have a similar situation week 17. But if you do, then you definitely have a similar situation week 18 with the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. And I think the NFL has done a really good job this year and last year of overloading the end of everyone's schedules within conference and division games.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Making them count. Love it. Now, I don't know if I'm crazy about shoving both Tennessee games within 3 weeks of each other, both at the end of the season. I might feel differently about it if I knew what Tennessee was at this point, but you don't. They could either be good or mediocre or awful. And I know that's like a duh, of course. You got 3 options there. But really, that roster could go one of 3 ways, couldn't it? Like, I don't believe that team's going to be good. I don't think they did enough on the offensive line. I don't think they did enough on defense. I don't believe in Will Levis like other people do. But it could be a good team. We just don't know yet. But that is the entirety of the schedule. And so I want to run through these games really quickly, Brian, with a couple of minutes before break. I want to see where your win-loss prediction is at. Because the schedule doesn't seem that bad in its entirety. The Jaguars have the 16th easiest schedule overall in a 32-team league, right there at the midpoint. Vegas has them at 8.5 wins. 8.5 wins for the Jaguars. But the only reason that the schedule seems to be favorable for the Jags is because, number one, it could be overloaded with some rookies. If Drake May starts for the Patriots, Caleb Williams for the Bears, J.J. McCarthy for the Vikings. If those guys are playing, Will Levis is kind of like a rookie quarterback, even though technically he's not. Anthony Richardson is kind of like a rookie quarterback, even though he's technically not, just based on the games he's played. We don't really know if Gardner Minshew will be starting for the Raiders by the end of the season. If it's Aiden O'Connell, you could count him in that near rookie quarterback class who didn't get a full season last year, but had enough games that he started his career. You do have a couple of young quarterbacks who the defense could take advantage of, and maybe some other bad teams. But the reality is, the schedule for the Jaguars is a gauntlet to kick off the beginning of the year. According to Warren Sharp, and Warren's my guy. I love Warren Sharp. Warren says the second toughest schedule in the league through week 13. Dolphins, Browns, Bills, Texans, Bears, Patriots, Packers, Eagles, Vikings, Lions, Texans. Multiple teams there that Vegas expects to win double digits. The expectation for Vegas is Miami gets 10 wins. Buffalo gets 10 wins. Green Bay gets 10 wins. Eagles get 10 wins. Lions get 10 wins. Houston gets 10 wins. That is a tough stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Tougher to me than what we saw towards the end of last year with that 4 or 5 game stretch with some of the great playoff teams.
No.
Yes.
No, because a couple of weeks before that 4 or 5 game stretch was San Francisco, which kicked off the Titanic of falling apart. Like, nah, Aaron. Aaron, that was, no. Compared to this right here, last season, for sure. Still brutal. Even with the missing QBs for some of those teams last season.
We're talking about November 12th. You go San Francisco. This is last year.
Yeah.
San Francisco, then Tennessee. Houston, Cincy, Cleveland, Baltimore. I wouldn't throw Tampa Bay in there, even though they lost to Tampa Bay.
They did lose, didn't they?
But you're basically talking about playing the AFC North and the Niners. Some good teams.
They're brutal.
You're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 games. I'm talking weeks 1 through 13.
I'm not. Listen, I get it. You got to make a prediction. You got to look at some of these teams and be like, all right, what is the likelihood that what we saw from last season, there won't be too much of a fall off, or there will be an increase from the heights that they showed last year? I know you got to do that, but there are big question marks on Miami. And, Gary, I know you can hear this right now. You'll get a chance to respond. There's question marks on Miami, especially on the defensive side. There just is. The same thing that caused them, follies and caused them issues in the playoffs last year, did they really address that this year?
So let's get on the record then. Win or loss against Miami?
Win.
You think it's a win?
Cook them.
I think it's a loss.
The curse of Sophie Hall, bruh.
I think it's a loss. Trevor? I think as the Jaguars continue to settle in the secondary, I think it's bad timing.
Okay.
I would much rather play those guys towards the end of the year where the secondary has a sure footing under it. Week 1, where you're still kind of getting it settled, I don't believe it.
Everybody's trying to get it settled.
Cleveland, week 2, win or loss?
That defense is crucial. Give me a.
I believe it's in Jacksonville.
Oh, boy. Deshaun Watson may be trying to. Give me a loss. It's a tough one, but give me a loss.
Week 3 at Buffalo. Monday
give
night.
Me a big W. Huge W.
Wow.
Large W.
I gave him a W also, but still.
Supersize it. You remember that? Remember Supersize?
I do. Week 4, Houston.
Give me a W.
In Houston.
Give me a W.
Wow.
Houston, all the expectations, how do they deal with it, Aaron? I don't know.
Well, apparently you do. You know that they're going to lose.
Prediction.
Week 5 in Jacksonville against Indy.
Give me another W, Aaron Schachter.
According to you, they're on a roll right now. Winners of 3 in a row. Headed to London, Week 6 against the Bears.
I think the Bears are going to be crucial. I think it's going to be an L. I think Caleb Williams and the boys out there.
Wow.
I think it's going to be crucial.
Just to be clear.
Sure.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
You're saying the Jags will beat Miami Week 1 in Miami.
Yeah, I'm big on Chicago.
Beat Buffalo Week 3 in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Beat Houston Week 4 in Houston.
Yeah. Lose
to the Bears in London.
Yeah, an away game, apparently.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Week 7, New England, London.
Come on, man. Beat them twice. Can we win twice?
Can we get 2 wins for that?
Okay.
I don't know that Drake May will be playing in that game. No matter who's under center. If it's Brissett or Drake May, it's a win.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay, Week 8 in Jacksonville.
It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. Jordan Love and the boys. I guess I'm going to go with an L. They don't play well at home.
I gave them a loss as well. Week 9 in Philly. Prime time. Sunday night.
I think it's going to be a close loss. Where does that have us at?
Record-wise?
Yeah.
You have them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. 1, 2, 3. This would be the 4th loss.
It'd be the 4th loss already? All right, yeah.
5 and 4.
Yeah, okay.
I gave them a loss as well. Week 10, Mini.
Big W.
I got him with the dub as well. Week 11, Detroit.
Revenge game.
In Detroit.
Big W.
I gave him the loss.
Yeah, you did.
Week 12's the bye.
Mm-hmm.
Week 13 in Jacksonville, it's Houston.
I think you're going to take an L. An unfortunate L.
I gave him the W in Jacksonville.
They'll split it. Yeah.
Week 14 in Tennessee.
Come on, man. Give me a win.
I gave him a win as well. Week 15 in Jacksonville versus the Jets.
Is Aaron Rodgers playing?
That's up to you to figure out.
Is Aaron Rodgers playing?
Look, I got news for you. If Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, Tyrod Taylor is the backup. He's just as likely to get hurt.
That defense is real elite.
It's almost like you're backing up a graham cracker with a saltine.
You put that on a T-shirt. I like that. Oh, boy, that's tough.
Elite defense. Great run offense.
And they got wide receivers. All you need is someone who's not Zach Wilson.
They drafted Jordan Travis, who may or may not be ready by week 15.
Dang, and then they got Jordan Travis?
Yeah.
They don't want quarterbacks that are healthy. Let's see. I'm going to say
Shout
L.
out to the Knowles.
I'm going to say L.
All right. I gave the L as well. Homerism.
Oh, yeah.
Week 16 in Vegas.
Oh, big W. Rest of the way out.
Me too. Week 17
W.
In Jacksonville versus Tennessee. I gave them the W. That means they sweep Tennessee.
Yeah.
Week 18 in Indianapolis versus the Colts with the season possibly on the line.
What's my record?
You have them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses.
Yeah. They'll be in the playoffs. They won't have a chance to move up at that point. They'll probably sit people. I'll give them an L.
10 and 7.
Because they're sitting people down.
You have them splitting with Indy.
Yeah.
You have them sweeping Tennessee.
Yeah.
You have them splitting with Houston in reverse.
Yeah.
Winning in Texas, losing in Florida.
Away and away, yeah.
What's my record? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins as well. 10 and 7 for me too. I have them losing to Miami week 1, Houston in Houston week 4, losing to Green Bay in Jacksonville, losing to Philly in primetime, losing to Detroit in Detroit. You know Jared Goff in the Dome. Losing to the Jets in Jacksonville because I kind of need to see it. And that's it. They win out. Vegas, Tennessee, Indy on the way to the playoffs.
10 wins.
That'll
10
do
to
it.
7.
That'll do it in the AFC South.
It'll get you a wild card somewhere.
Wild card? It'd be first place in the AFC South.
Still be in a wild card weekend, but yeah, you'll be hosting the game. I got you.
Why you got to poo-poo on the winning the AFC South?
Because, man, it felt like I was giving a lot of W's, and then I look up and they're 5 and 4. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, you thought they were going to lose at home to Cleveland. You thought they were going to lose in London to Chicago.
Chicago is going to be a...
You're buying too high on Chicago.
No, I'm not.
You're buying too high.
No, I've been on them since about week 9 of last season.
Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. You remember his first season? You're buying a little too high on Chicago.
He didn't have 8 All-Pros at once. Okay.
Not everybody is C.J. Stroud's rookie year. Nobody is.
Listen,
I got them losing to Green Bay in Jacksonville, losing to Philly in Philly. I got them losing to Detroit in Detroit, losing to the Jets, winning out. And you got a similar thing. 10-7 for both of us, even though we got there different ways. I like that. I got some more scheduled takeaways when we come back. How about the fact that the Jaguars, are we not coming back?
No, we might come back. I mean, you should take this right now. I promise.
Oh.
You should take this right
now. You got a phone call.
Yeah, you should take this right now.
Oh, let's take the phone call.
You should take this right now.
Oh, we got a very special caller on the line. It's King South Beach on the post-schedule release show. It's a Friday edition on a Thursday. What's up, Gary?
There's no way Butterfingers Lawrence is going down to Miami and coming away with a W. You're dreaming, Brian.
No, he did respond. Okay, Gary.
All right. Tyreek is going to toast that secondary, and you know it, Aaron.
I did say something along those lines.
Hey, listen.
Of course.
Hey, listen. Tyreek's mind is
at least you deal a little bit in reality as opposed to your co-host there. But wait a minute, Aaron. You're putting down other cities when New York City's got rats the size of full-grown cats.
They do.
Yeah, but like we all learned to live together. It's a melting pot.
I mean, it's quite hear you mentioning New York though when you're putting down cities though.
I actually heard something really disturbing about New York the other day. Brian, you remember Pizza Rat?
Yeah. Okay.
I learned that Pizza Rat was a ringer. It was a trained rat some lady was doing for a viral video.
Oh. Okay.
I thought it was like a real rat in the wild.
Yeah.
I'm like some internet rube. I fell for it.
Got you.
Very disappointed.
But once again, the Dolphins get screwed with the schedule.
How so?
They got 4 cold weather games from week 9 on, and all the home games, the only home warm weather game they play against another warm weather team in the Jacksonville Kitty Cats. The Buffalo Bills are playing a night game on Thursday night. Tennessee gets to play at night. Did the same thing as the Dolphins last year. Started them with the road. Let's be fair. When are these schedule holders going to be held accountable? Why don't the Dolphins get some hot weather games? If they give them cold weather games, it's only fair they get some teams have to go to Miami in the 95-degree heat.
Let's see some of these cold weather games. It looks like
starting at 9 with Buffalo at Buffalo in week 9.
So at Buffalo week 9.
You got Green Bay Packers Thanksgiving night.
You go
got
to
the Jets and the Browns.
Hold on. Buffalo week 9. Then the Dolphins go to L.A. Then they're back home for 2 of them. Then they go to Green Bay as another cold weather game, yes, in November. Then they're back home. Then it's Houston in December. That's not necessarily that cold.
No, Houston, you got Cleveland, and you got the Jets.
You go to Cleveland December 29th, and it's the Jets in January, somewhat of a cold game. Gary, what's your expectation? They're just going to schedule them to play in the sauna every end of the season? Like, this is the Dolphins, man.
Where are the home games, the hot weather games for the Dolphins?
Early in the season, any home game.
Together. Let's be fair, NFL. Did the same thing last year, started the Dolphins on the road, completely took away any home field advantage they could have gotten by starting on the road, and now they screw them by the home games playing at night.
So you're telling me when the Bills travel to Miami in September, that's not an advantage for the Dolphins?
A night game as opposed to a 1 o'clock game?
Even at night, it's stifling in Miami.
It's not the same as 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's fair. I won't argue with you.
How many warm weather games? Let's look at Jacksonville. How many do they have?
How many what?
There's another hot weather team, so let's look in comparison.
How many warm weather games you're looking for?
Yeah, how many games at home do they have in September?
Well, at home in September, you're talking about Cleveland, and you're talking about that's it. They're on the road the other 3. On the road in Miami, on the road in Buffalo, on the road in Houston.
All right, so they have 2 warm weather games, and Miami's got
but one of them is Miami's.
Right, against another warm weather team.
All right, I see what you're saying. I just don't necessarily agree with you. I appreciate you think the NFL is out to get you.
About 3 out of 4 on the road, they had no home games. They had 1 home game out in September at home.
I appreciate the call,
so
Gary.
2 years in a row, they stuck it to the Dolphins.
I don't really understand what you think the solution's going to be. Thank you for the call, Gary. We got to go to break. I don't really understand what you think the solution would be, though. Like, if they're the only team that has 300% humidity and 90-degree weather into November, how do you schedule that to be equal with other teams? It's like everyone else is equal except the Dolphins. The solution would be stop playing in Miami. Just move the Miami Dolphins to a cold weather area.
I hear that London can field the team.
Okay.
London Dolphins?
The Tottenham Hotspur Miami Dolphins.
Shoot, Tottenham Dolphins.
You Tottenham. I'm telling them. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. I don't think we're coming back before the Sports Center.
We're not coming back before the Sports Center.
But I appreciate the patience, folks. We'll be back at 4 o'clock hour. More schedule breakdown on the Aaron Schachter Show.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction.
Does your sweet fur baby have a birthday or gotcha day coming up? Forever Vet's Central Location offers birthday parties to make your fur baby feel extra special on their big day. All you have to do is invite up to 8 of their friends, and we'll do the rest. Forever Vets provides cake and pup cups, as well as everything else to make this 2 hours a real party. Party hats, bubble play, a photo booth, and of course, access to our heart-shaped pool. We also have 2 Forever Vets trained handlers there to make sure everyone is having safe fun. Visit forevervets.com today to see all our package options.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, frustrated taking pills that don't work. Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough treatments with men lasting longer than ever without pain or surgery.
Call now. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results right in the office. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now. 904-664-8221. That's 904-664-8221.
Hi, I'm Mike Lester, the founder of Talon Wealth and the host of the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show. Like you, I love this country, and I'm very thankful for those that protect us along with our freedoms. That's why for active military and active first responders, if you decide to work with us, Talon Wealth isn't going to charge you any advisor fees. We're happy to explain all the details, but most importantly, thank you for your service.
Visit guardingyournestegg.com to find out more.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Florida license D056341.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Okay, it's here. Everyone stay calm. It's Kohl's lowest prices of the season. And when I say low, I mean low. I got my kids Jumping Beans tees for $3.99. Treated myself to some cute tees and tank tops under $5. And got great finds for our patio, 50% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash on all of it. Sounds too good to be true? Well, I guess you'll have to go to Kohl's and find out for yourself. Select styles. Offers end May 15th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
If you're looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, we're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. Prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Call Term Provider at 800-337-4168. 800-337-4168.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville. Spring has sprung, and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages, including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate, or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Jacksonville Cougars. It's me, Soccer Sam from Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizzeria is now open in Jacksonville, Florida. Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. $10 daily deals, dine-in, beer and wine, and delivery. Salvatore's.com.
I'm the guy that never gives 5 stars because I never believe that anything is perfect. But I would give them 20 stars if I could.
Ernest's stellar review belongs to QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments. They came through when he badly needed relief for his aching knees, and doctors had told him that surgery was the only option.
What they're doing is cutting edge, and it really helps. And I'm a tough sell.
QC Kinetics is led by National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in this field. With 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, publishing in non-surgical natural pain treatments. These are the medical pros to trust.
I'm living my life basically pain-free from what I was dealing with, so I'm a happy camper today, no doubt about it.
QC Kinetics. Call today to see if you're a candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
We have big rolls of carpet.
Wait, Carpet Man, what else do you have?
LVP. Carpet Man's LVP. Carpet Man's LVP. The luxury beneath your feet. Our prices, they can't be beat. LVP. Carpet Man's LVP. Carpet Man's LVP. Visit one of our mega flooring stores or go to carpetman.biz. Carpet Man Flooring, your hometown flooring store.
Paid actor portrayal.
Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. In 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected.
Ethos fast and easy online term life insurance up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% on your choice of any 6 or more interior 6-panel pre-hung slab or bifold doors. And there's more. Save 10% when you buy 1 pallet or more of select concrete mix. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Live from the Anajar and Levine studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. Game 6, Nuggets and Timberwolves in Minneapolis tonight. Denver holds a 3-2 series lead. What changed after Minnesota won the first 2 games? Nuggets coach Michael Malone.
I just didn't think we collectively were playing like the reigning champs. We didn't have a swagger. We weren't playing with confidence. We weren't playing with aggression. And to give them credit, they had something to do with that. So, you got to give Minnesota respect when it's due.
Michael Malone, coverage of Game 6 starts at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and TV. Xander Schauffele holds the first-round lead at the PGA Championship. Schauffele with a 9-under tournament record round of 62. He leads by 3 over Tony Finau and Sahith Theegala. Tiger Woods shoots a 1 over 72 today. Live coverage continues on ESPN and ESPN+. Baseball today, the Yankees shut out the Twins 5-0. Clark Schmidt goes 8 scoreless innings, allowing 3 hits. Defensive lineman Michael Brockers retires from the NFL.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming on Friday. I'll tell you if the Mavs have shown me enough to believe that they can win a title. It's unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Controversial cop training.
I love violence. I love shooting.
Banned in 9 states, but now it's coming to Florida, laced with profanity.
Shut the
and so-called locker room talk.
You gotta be a gigolo.
Action News Jack's Megan Moriarty shows you what's behind the training doors.
Could we talk to you a little bit about the conference?
Depends on what it's about. Is this raw police coaching headed in the wrong direction or making Jacksonville safer? Today at 5:45 on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jacks.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn off your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Oh, yeah. The Aaron Schachter Show, ESPN 690. Aaron Schachter, Brian Middleton with you guys up until 5 p.m. talking the schedule release. Last hour, Brian, we were talking a little bit about the Dolphins with South Beach. Complaining the NFL screwed over the Dolphins was he. The Dolphins schedule from week 1 through 12, according to my guy Warren, second easiest in the NFL.
Of course it is.
Gary. Now, from week 13 onward, second toughest schedule in the NFL.
Good.
All 6 games of that stretch, 13 onward, all 6 of those games against teams expected to post winning records. 4 or 6 of them are on the road, like Gary was talking about. Some cold weather games. But come on, Gary. Weeks 1 through 12, second easiest in the NFL. I don't want to hear it. Jacksonville's got a much tougher schedule. And all you folks looking at strength of schedule based on last year's metrics, last year's stats, stop. Different teams, different players.
Well,
what's up, brother?
Oh, I will say that's kind of what we're doing right now when we're guessing. When we're guessing teams, listen, when people say, hey, your first 5 games are really tough.
I think Gary's calling back. You got different teams based strength of schedule. What I'm looking at on Warren Sharp's analysis is where Vegas is putting the line at.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, part of the assessment, yes, is what they're doing right now, and it's also based off
a large part of the assessment.
But it's also, like, the parts that you do have, what they did before, like, last season, what they've done leading up to this season. So,
well, case in point, did you think that the Bears last year were a playoff team? Because you just called them one for this year.
I thought they could sneak in. I thought that they gave up. But you could ask Casey, you could go back to overtime, like, once that one coach got hemmed up by the FBI or the CIA, whatever happened up in Chicago, it was a weird story.
It was a raid. He didn't get arrested, though.
Yeah. And Eberflus, someone calmed him down and said, hey, man, stop doing dumb stuff. And they finally let Justin Fields, breathe.
They fired Luke Getsy.
Yeah. All that stuff happened, and I was like, uh-oh, okay, they got something here. So, like, I think Chicago could have snuck in, but they left a couple of games on the field. They did. So, I mean, anyway.
No, you're looking at Minnesota last year. You're talking about a Kirk Cousins Vikings team.
Yeah, no one believed it.
You're not talking about a Kirk Cousins Vikings team this year. It's a different ball game. I like the way Warren does it. I don't like the way these other folks do it.
Okay, I'm with it.
Warren's my guy.
I like it.
I'll tell you who else is my guy.
Who?
Daniel Kilkenny.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
How's it going, fellas?
Going pretty well, man. What's up?
Oh, on the Miami game, I agree with you. I would rather have that middle to the end of the year.
Yeah, a little bit later.
Because the big reason for me is like you said, the secondary having a chance to be able to play together. And when's the last time they actually had their full, accoutrements to actually make it through the season? And so instead of having all their speed, which they have like 57 guys that all run, 4 flat, 40s, it seems like.
Yeah.
So, but speed guys generally end up being, hurt at some point in time.
Or at least tend to wear down as the season goes on.
Exactly. And so I'd rather see them later on and, have better odds, but.
Preach, Danny, preach.
But I also know that there have been several years that we started off with a win and then didn't do so well the rest of the year.
Interesting.
And so if we start off with a loss, then theoretically we should have a better, record at the end of the year.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, well, I came up with 10-7 like what y'all did.
Isn't that interesting? I bet we all got there three different ways, though.
Yeah, no. Now, I do have a question for you. I know you don't read the chat anymore, but, how about y'all go down to South Beach, meet up with Gary, and every time someone scores, you do a shot and you do a live show?
Is South Beach in South Beach? I don't think he is.
I honestly don't know, but, with a name like South Beach, you figured,
I think he's just a Dolphin fan is what it is. And really, the thing to do with Gary is to send him out to Everbank and have him interview people. To get him, you got to get Gary all gassed up on like Red Bull and 5-hour energy, give him a microphone, and let him just run after people and ask him questions and stuff like that. That's what you do with Gary.
That would be masterful, man. If you could pull that off, you would definitely have a statue.
I tried. He's not into it. He wants money. I was like, don't you understand this is radio? We don't even get money, and we work here.
Well, give him a T-shirt, man.
All right, that works. Let me ask you this, Dan. You got him splitting with Houston. What do you got him doing with the AFC South?
Yeah, I pretty much followed along with y'all. The Houston, man, we've never played well against Houston, or at least if we have, it's been so long ago. I can't remember. But there is so many. But then again, every year that Houston was bad, everybody always looked at them and said, "Oh, well, that's an easy win," and we never won. So now that they're supposed to be good, maybe our fortunes reverse.
Interesting.
And we'll actually beat them because, and that seemed like a lot of, the Jags, it seems like that's a lot of what they did. They played down to their opponents. If they played against really good opponents, then they played better. Win or loss, either way, but at least they played better, But yet, look at the Chiefs game. It wasn't a blowout. They were right there with them.
No, it was very close.
But then they go up against someone that you're just going to blow out the Texans, and no, the Texans did it instead. So hopefully now that they're on more square footing, we'll have a better, But just like when I used to shoot pool for a living, there were a lot of guys that were that way. That if they were playing against, your big name guys, that actually played on TV and stuff, they'd play better. But as soon as they'd play someone just from, the local bar, all of a sudden they couldn't make a shot to save their life, So there could be something to do with that. Who knows?
I'm going to go ahead and pause the Aaron Schachter Show football talk for a second to dig a little deeper into this former professional pool player history of yours, Dan. What's that about?
Well, when I was younger, I spent some time in pool halls with my aunts and uncles when I was little.
Oh, it sounds like so your parents didn't really raise you well. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, my parents raised me well when I was with
Daniel's hanging out at pool halls at 7 years old, smoking Marlboros.
But the problem was they entrusted me to family members, and the family members usually weren't that great.
Of course.
My grandfather taught me I wanted to hang out with them, because back then the guys and the gals would always split up, and the guys were playing poker, and the lady folk were all crocheting and needle pointing and stuff. I didn't want to do that.
You sound like Harrison Butker right now. Where are you going with this?
So I wanted to hang out with Grandpa. Well, he told me if I wanted to hang out in there, I had to learn how to play poker, and in order to play poker, you had to smoke cigars.
Oh yeah.
So at 4 years old, I learned how to smoke a cigar.
Hey, yo! Kill Kenny.
What?
Kill Kenny.
Kenny's sitting there chewing on a cigar, looking like that little baby in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, I think I got to play 3 hands, and then I was out because I had finished my beer. I passed out in the chair.
Wow.
Yeah. On the bright side, though, you're not waking up crying as a 4-year-old because you're drunk. So
exactly.
Yeah. Wild.
I used to get to play against like Tommy Kennedy and Scott Hall and Archer and Jeanette Lee and all those. But then I fell to the pressure from the family and got a haircut and got
a real job
and regretted it.
Did you regret it? Do you look back and go, man, I should have followed my dream?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
My grandpa on my dad's side used to play like Minnesota Fats and God, I can't believe I'm missing his name. But it started with an M. But one of the greatest, some of the greatest, pool players ever. But Grandpa spend his time at the pool hall. And so when I'd spend time with him, then I'd get to watch him play against all these, people that were on TV making all this money and everything. And, so.
That's super cool. Whose dad was that? Mom's dad or dad's dad?
Dad's dad.
And so did dad rebel against his dad and not go the pool hall route? Did he do something extra nerdy like accounting or something like that?
He become an engineer.
Okay, yeah. So he actually used his education for good.
That's great.
Yeah, and didn't and he didn't really drink.
Meanwhile, Daniel, engineering is a lot of math, and so's pool. It's angles.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Donald Duck in mathematics land was my jam when I was growing up, man. But I was doing multiplication when I was 3.
And then beers when you were 4.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And so I loved all the angles and the math of it, and that's why I ended up getting into playing like snooker and one pocket and 3-rail and all the.
These all sound like euphemisms for.
What is snooker?
Yeah, dirty games. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Snooker is actually a.
Get ready on the dump button, Brian.
No.
If you ever get to go over to England, when you go into the pool halls, you'll see more snooker tables than you will regular pool tables.
Got it.
So
it's like it's like another one of these versions of pool, or is it a different table and everything?
Yeah, it's a foot longer. The pockets are just a little bit smaller. The balls are like 2/3 the size, and you have a bunch of red balls that are done up like normal pool, but then you have spots all around the board that you have like 2 through 8 of balls that are set up, and those are numbers. And you got to sink a red ball and then make a numbered ball. And whatever the number is on that ball, that's how many points you get. And so you keep going until you get points. And if you don't have a shot and you hide somebody to where the next person doesn't have a shot, then that's called being snookered.
Got you.
Interesting.
Phrase getting snookered.
Do you find yourself going to pool halls now as an older gentleman and trying to take advantage of people?
I would love to, but unfortunately, with I started driving truck for a living when I quit playing pool, and so I was gone for like 12 years, and rarely got to play, and then I got married and had kids, and that just ruins all your hobbies. So
don't I know it? Jeez.
The last time I played was like 5 years ago, or no, actually no, it was 2 years ago. And it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
I appreciate you indulging me going down this tangent, man. I learned a lot today.
Absolutely. And that's just one of my, probably 20 different professions, if you ever get bored another day.
Very cool.
All right, but you'll have a great day.
I appreciate the call, Dan. Dan says 10-7. Long story short, by the way.
You're like, by the way.
Long story short, Dan says 10-7. We're all in agreement, 10-7.
And just to let you know that Gary
there's
did
a
call
development.
back in.
Gary, hold on. There's a development.
He called back in.
Yes,
and
shocker.
I got to paraphrase because Gary was passionate, but actually very clear.
Oh, okay.
That Warren Sharp, what he was trying to bring into account and what you guys were trying to point out.
Don't go besmirching my guy Warren.
It had nothing to do with what his point was with the unfairness of the schedule towards Miami. You guys were doing the throw the brick and hide your hand. That's what we say in South Carolina. You were bringing the truth over here. Actually, that's not what that means. But
throw the brick and hide your hand?
Yes, grammar police. Yeah.
I'm
asking.
I'm trying to understand.
Yeah. You got to go up to the low country and talk to anybody there. Okay. Anyway, my point is Gary called up and wanted to strongly let you know that the points that you were making and that Kilkenny were making might have had some truth. Now I'm interjecting a little bit.
Okay.
He didn't say that part. Okay. So when you talk to him, he's not going to say that.
So you're giving me the positive
But I'm saying
credit.
it might have had some truth, but it had nothing to do with the unfairness that Gary believes is, begrudgingly being put onto the Miami Dolphins.
Here's Gary's problem in a nutshell. Since 2017, we're talking a 7-year sample.
Okay.
Miami on the road, 26 out of 32 teams, 20-38. Miami at home, 6 out of 32 teams, 37-20. That's the entire problem in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think the NFL did to you. I don't care when you think the NFL's got you going on the road or staying home. The reality is the team struggles late in the year with any road game, period. So every year you're going to have this issue with the Dolphins.
Because the seasons change.
They do. Everywhere but Miami. That's accurate.
That's why You'd have one more thing, man.
Give me it.
Accoutrements.
Accoutrement.
Let me tell you what, man. He hit that, and my face switched up. Like, man, what in the French are we talking about over here?
We became a much more classy show in that moment.
He's used that word before.
Former pool shark Dan Kilkenny with his accoutrements.
I meant to ask him, can he teach me how to hustle people? It reminds me of this episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Great show.
Will and Carlton, they go to a pool hall and they think they're all good to get hustled. And then Uncle Phil, he comes down with Jeffrey the butler, and he has Lucille, but he hustles the hustlers.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Kilkenny, hey, man, would you go back to that former life for like a month and a half and teach me how to hustle people?
It'd be a great content video.
Yeah, it would.
Be great. We were talking a little bit about strength of schedule before the
Is that what we're talking about?
Kilkenny.
Okay.
Yeah, I was talking about how a lot of people use last year's one loss.
Oh, you did say that.
Versus what my guy Warren Sharp uses, which is Vegas's odds, the line, and the over-unders. And so which teams have the easiest schedules? Which teams have the hardest schedules? I've got them now ranked, and I've got good news and bad news. Let's lead with the neutral. The Jacksonville Jaguars ranked 14th out of 32 in terms of easy being first, hard being 32nd. So you're above the halfway mark. I think that's a good thing. You hear other people in this market who want the challenge. They want the hardest teams. Stop it. Stop it. You want your team to be 17-0. Who cares how you get there?
Give me New England 17 times if you can do so.
Who
and
cares
one time
how
in the
you
playoffs.
get there?
And one time in the playoffs.
Give me them 3 times in the playoffs.
Okay.
14 out of 32. 1 being the easiest, 32 being the hardest. That's the middle-of-the-road neutral news. Here's the good news. 27 out of 32, with 32 being the hardest. 27 is the Tennessee Titans. So not only do we think the team isn't going to be good just on its own, they've got a really tough schedule. Right above them at 26, Brian, the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans. And so a lot of people are already anointing the Texans kings of the AFC South. I mean, technically, they anointed themselves at the end of last season. But still, they're saying C.J. Stroud for the next decade. D'Amico Ryans for the next decade.
10 years? Come on, man.
Maybe a little hyperbole on my part. But you understand what I'm saying.
No, I think people are saying that.
Yes. 26 out of 32 on the schedule strength this year.
Wow, really?
If they get 11 wins this season, they certainly earned it.
Expectations do crazy things to teams that aren't used to it. So,
Vegas has them at 9.5 wins.
I see they're out on the edge.
I think they're under, but just under. I think they're 9-8 this year.
Has anybody seen their December? They better get those 9 wins in the first handful of months.
Not pretty.
Their December is, you talk about our first month, that's their December.
Not pretty. That's the good news.
Okay.
That 2 teams in the AFC South have 2 of the hardest schedules in the entire league. Here's the not great news. The 7th easiest schedule in the entire league. It would be the 4th easiest schedule in the AFC. Belongs to the Colts.
Really? That goes back to my hypothesis, man.
Which is?
The AFC South.
Different team every year.
They can't go back-to-back right now. It's a decade of non-back-to-back. And
since 21, you've gone Titans, Jaguars, Texans.
Yep.
So if you believe in that myth, if you believe in the lore of the AFC South, then this is a feather in that cap.
Man, 4th?
7th easiest schedule in the league.
Easiest.
In the league, 4th easiest in the AFC. Easiest schedules in the entire league. It goes Falcons. Lucky for them. Chargers. Not like it's going to make much of a difference, in my opinion. Bears. For those of you thinking the Bears can make the playoffs, this is going to help. The Jets. Even without Aaron Rodgers, Tyrod Taylor taking them to the playoffs. And the Saints. I think the Saints are going to surprise some people. I said it yesterday with Ducky. I actually believe in it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could see it happening. I don't know.
Hardest schedule in the NFL. The Vikings with the 5th hardest schedule in the NFL, rookie quarterback.
Ugh.
The Ravens trying to make it to the Super Bowl.
That sounds right.
Reigning MVP, 4th hardest schedule in the NFL. The Browns, Deshaun Watson trying to do any damn thing to justify the contract. 3rd hardest schedule in the NFL. The New England Drake Matriots.
Really?
2nd hardest schedule in the NFL. But you know why?
Because
they got to play the Dolphins, Bills, and Jets twice each.
Because of their division.
Yes.
Got you. Okay.
And the Steelers with the number 1 hardest schedule in the NFL again.
Yeah.
Because you got to play the Ravens, Bengals, and Ravens, Bengals, and Browns twice a year. Oh, wait. Was that the Browns?
Yeah.
It was the Browns. Ravens, Bengals. Who am I missing? Ravens,
no, you
Bengals?
said Steelers. You named the 3 other teams.
Oh, that's okay.
You gonna be all right, man?
Yeah.
You did. You got all the teams in, Aaron. You did do it, man.
It's been a tough day, man.
It has been tough.
It's been a tough day.
It has been tough.
I haven't had my cookies. I haven't had my salt and Vinnies.
Why didn't you do the salt and Vinnies?
I just...
we had a 17-minute break before 4 o'clock.
I'm not in a good place today, man.
You did say that. All right.
Shout out to Warren Sharp for basically giving me that segment. Another guy who's ghosted me, but I forgave him. Because he's my guy. I forgave him.
But when the diss track drops...
It might be on it.
Will it be like how Kendrick, he went at J. Cole a little bit?
A little bit.
Just but it was mainly for Drake?
Yeah, I'll just toe dip on Warren, but really I'll probably just use him to diss somebody else at full length.
Okay.
Yeah. Certainly no A minor blasts. Nothing like that. Because that's some serious business.
Yeah, that's wild.
I saw a video. I don't know if you've been keeping up, Mr. and Mrs. Listener, on the Drake-Kendrick beef, but Brian, I'll tell you this. I saw a TikTok video of a DJ at a club playing Drake, it's the Summer Romance song. I'm going to blow this story.
Summer
In any
Romance.
case,
okay.
Everyone's calling Drake a pedo now because of what Kendrick said.
Yeah.
That's rough stuff. You thought it was just going to be a fun little back and forth diss track. He ruined his whole reputation. It's over now.
It's over?
I think it's over.
Oh, man. What's the Hard Rock app? I'll put a bet that it ain't over.
Not one of us.
For Aubrey?
Not one of us. I think it's over.
Nah, I don't think so.
I think Kendrick did it. He exposed him.
I don't think. Well, he might have done that, but it being over?
Time will tell. Time will tell on these Jaguars. I have to get to the Tyreek Hill stories. We got more.
We do.
We got more schedule stuff to do. I'm going to have to push it to tomorrow because we have to talk Tyreek Hill when we come back.
Yes, we do.
In the news again, has nothing to do with stuff going on the field.
Man.
It's the Aaron Schachter Show. Back in a minute.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly sunny and a pretty hot day today. We'll top out near 90 degrees, but down into the comfortable 60s tonight and partly sunny tomorrow. Your Friday afternoon high will again reach 90 degrees. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, proud to offer a huge selection of both lab-grown and natural diamonds at the lowest prices guaranteed.
English Premier League soccer returns this summer. Don't miss your chance to see teams from the biggest league in the world here in Jacksonville as they compete for the first trophy of the season, the Stateside Cup. Be there when English Premier League's Wolves and West Ham take the pitch July 27th at Everbank Stadium, home of the Jaguars. With the series trophy on the line, competition will be fierce. Tickets on sale now for as low as $35. Buy your tickets today at StatesideCup.com. That's StatesideCup.com.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, an avocado consultant from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Dave Ortega. Okay, Dave, here's your question. Your house is not bad in the morning, but by the afternoon, your AC can barely keep up, even with the curtains closed. What do you do?
Oh, can I buy a vowel?
Not that kind of show, Dave.
Can I spin the wheel?
Yeah, we don't even have a wheel, Dave.
Can I phone a friend? Oh, can I call Bueller?
That's right, Dave. Call Bueller Air and Plumbing to assess your home's airflow and sunlight patterns and let us optimize your air conditioning so that you are cool.
This is the happiest day of my life.
Well, you gotta get out more, Dave.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Controversial cop training.
I love violence. I love shooting.
Banned in 9 states, but now it's coming to Florida. Laced with profanity and so-called locker room talk.
You gotta be gigolo.
Action News Jack's Megan Moriarty shows you what's behind the training doors.
Could we talk to you a little bit about the conference?
Depends on what it's about.
Is this raw police coaching headed in the wrong direction or making Jacksonville safer? Today at 5:45 on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Hi, I'm Mike Lester, the founder of Talon Wealth and the host of the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show. Like you, I love this country, and I'm very thankful for those that protect us along with our freedoms. That's why for active military and active first responders, if you decide to work with us, Talon Wealth isn't going to charge you any advisor fees. We're happy to explain all the details, but most importantly, thank you for your service.
Visit guardingyournestegg.com to find out more.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Florida License D056341.
If your body is starting to feel its age, it's time to fight back. BioTarget Regenerative Therapy targets pain at its source, rejuvenating your body's natural healing process. If you don't feel results after your first treatment, we'll refund the cost. It's our rapid results risk-free promise. End the creaks, crunches, and snaps in your joints. Call 904-92-REGEN. That's 904-92-REGEN to experience the transformative power of BioTarget for yourself. Targeted treatments, rapid recovery. Go biotarget.com for details.
Sometimes a family needs a little help to deal with life stresses. You can contribute to happy, healthy childhoods with a few simple steps. Notice families under stress. Offer a helping hand. Give your time. Talk about healthy child development. Connect a family with resources. Contributing to a great childhood can be as easy as being a good neighbor. For more, preventchildabusefl.org. This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go! Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the
right seat. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Get relief with a needle, not a knife. No surgery, steroids, drugs. You don't need that. You just need QC Kinetics. The future of medicine is here with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades. Regenerative medicine. If you're tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, especially as the weather gets better and better here in Northeast Florida, you need to call QC Kinetics now, 904-274-5522, and get a free consultation with QC Kinetics. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We're talking natural biologics, using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkupp. Dr. Scheinkupp is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, publishing. He wants to get you relief now. Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks Girls. We just love guys that listen to the Young and Norvell Show. Weekdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Hey guys, the Aaron Schachter Show. With the guys up until 5 p.m. It's time for what I'm calling our Tyreek Hill segment, Brian.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Nah.
What happened? You don't like the segment?
Nah, how'd you come in?
Hey, guy.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Is that South Park voice or was that?
Yeah, it's like a cart. Hey, guy.
Twin Peaks voice. All right.
Either one. Same thing. Are you up to date on what's happening with Tyreek Hill and this lawsuit? We've talked about it a few times before on the show, Brian. I know you're a big fan of the lady involved. Apparently, there's
What are you talking about?
There's an Instagram influencer.
Is there?
By the name of Sophie Hall.
Interesting. That's
Whose
a great
Instagram
name.
page you've never visited.
Never even heard of her.
Certainly not in the last couple of minutes. She's suing Tyreek Hill. $75,000 legal battle.
Whatever she said he did that.
You think he did it? Here's the allegations.
Okay.
We have talked about this before. This isn't new. A year ago, we didn't hear about it until February, but this actually happened in June of 2023 after the football season. Sophie Hall had brought her 10-year-old to Tyreek Hill's football camp in Miami. Afterward, Tyreek arranged a meeting with her at his house, at his mansion. Why do you think he did that?
Why do
Curious?
I think I did that?
No.
Why do you think he did that?
Yeah, we should just brainstorm.
He probably saw her the same way I did. And if I had multi-millions, was in the NFL, and a star, I'd be like, yeah, I'll coach your son up. All right.
For what? Money?
We'll talk about it. I got enough money.
You think he wants to be romantically linked?
I can't speak for Tyreek Hill.
Because he's got a fiance.
He's made a lot of poor decisions. So I can't speak to what's going on in his mind.
He's got a fiance. I'll tell you why, because you're way off.
This was a good decision, though. Okay.
You're way off.
Yeah.
He invited her to the house because her 10-year-old son plays offensive lineman, and Tyreek Hill told the influencer she should come over and practice the position as well.
I see you, man. I'm not unfamiliar with your game, though, Tyreek. You're a wide receiver, huh? Offensive line wide receiver, huh? Okay. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying that don't line up for me, but go ahead.
It worked.
It did. She was right over there.
She looked at him. She was like, yep, sounds about right. Head on over to the mansion.
Math is mathing for everybody there.
So on the date, the influencer arrives at the house with her son. Tyreek Hill nowhere to be found. So now the influencer's hanging out with the mom and the sister. Later that night, Tyreek gets home. As soon as he gets home, they start rolling out all the equipment, doing some football drills, if you can believe that. On the first offensive play, it's not the son lining up with Tyreek Hill.
No.
It's her. Sophie Hall, the influencer, lining up with Tyreek Hill. No, she's not like a fit girl gym influencer. She's like a fashion influencer, a body positive fashion influencer.
Body positive? What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, often you see female models and they look like the standard 1990s supermodel. I eat 3 sticks of celery for lunch.
Okay.
That is not Sophie Hall. Sophie Hall's is a regular human dimensions. But her thing is body positivity.
Okay.
She likes to support her and other people who have normal human bodies, not these unattainable bodies. That's what I meant. Thank you for asking me to clarify.
Well done, Senator.
On the first
Schachter.
offensive play, she, assuming a defensive lineman stance, managed to knock Tyreek Hill backwards. It drew laughter from the small crowd. Mom and sister. They were laughing right in my guy's face. I'm sure that didn't sit well with Tyreek Hill. He was embarrassed and enraged, according to the lawsuit. As a result, he drew up another play for Sophie Hall. Son's still on the sideline watching. The whole reason you're there.
Not even warmed up.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. However, on the second play, a puppy interrupted. So they had to stop the play.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the dog jumps in the middle of things. You're like, no, stop. Let's do it over.
Yeah.
So then a third play occurred. What if I told you she knocked him back again?
Well, if I remember correctly, and I do remember correctly.
I bet you
she's
do.
like 6'1", like 200 pounds.
I bet you do remember correctly.
I do.
The thing is emblazoned into your brain.
Yeah. What's that thing when they make sure you get out of AFib, but they burn your heart? Same idea, but with my brain in this image.
No idea.
Ablation. That's what it's called.
Cool.
You like burn it into your. That's a hard correlation right there.
It was at this point, Brian, that Tyreek Hill allegedly lost it. Insisting on a fourth play. Had to do the fourth play. They yell hike. He charges at her, what they're calling forcefully, causing significant and serious injuries, particularly fracturing her right leg. And then she needed surgery.
That's crazy.
So it's one thing if you go, he twisted my ankle and I couldn't walk for 6 months. It's another thing when you break a leg and have to go for surgery. But here's why he's in the headlines now. Now the lawyer is demanding more evidence, calling her a fraud.
Oh.
Saying it didn't happen.
Oh.
Pixar, it didn't happen. You wonder why a guy like Tyreek Hill with all that money would make such a big deal out of $75,000 in this lawsuit.
That's it? That's all she's asking for?
All she's asking for is she's not even asking for that. I believe the suit is for, it says it in here, is 25 to 50, and then I think it's another 25 for like lawyer's fees and stuff. She wants compensation between $50,000 and $75,000 in damages.
Oh, that's half a game check. That's not even half a game check.
Not
that's
even
like
close.
It's like a tenth of a game check for Tyreek, isn't it?
So you got to wonder why he's making such a big deal, why he doesn't want to give her the money. And then we've got this story that broke today. Tyreek Hill's wife, Keita Vaquero, the lady who we heard Tyreek was divorcing through Twitter, and then he said he wasn't divorcing.
Mm-hmm.
The lady who we heard got into a fight with Tyreek Hill where the cops were called because Tyreek Hill allegedly mushed a unlit cigar into her face.
What?
That's what the police report said.
I missed that part. Okay.
It said she claimed, or at least her cousin claimed on the phone to the police, Tyreek Hill mushed an unlit cigar in her face. Cops came. She said it didn't happen even though they found the cigar on the floor and no charges were filed. Shocker. Rich guy doesn't get in trouble. That lady, the lady who was fighting with him about a post-nuptial agreement, that lady, she's announced on Instagram with a picture of a sonogram that she's expecting.
What? Expecting what?
A baby. Not a visitor, a baby.
Oh. Whose baby?
Tyreek Hill's 10th baby. Tyreek Hill has more babies than he's got playoff wins.
What?
I think. Possibly.
He's with Patrick Mahomes for a couple of years.
We'd have to check it out. It might be close.
It might be
like
this or that.
7 to 10.
We'll do some research on that.
10 babies.
Eeh.
It's a lot of baby making.
I mean, it's a lot.
And then you're sitting there going, very few of those babies are between him and his current wife. So you know the cash is flowing out as much as it's flowing in.
He's going to have to play in the NFL for the next 20 years. Holy smokes, man. He is going to have to play at a high level till 2050.
And by the way, he's got 3 of those kids with his ex-fiancée, Crystal.
So he just gets engaged.
He gets booed up, puts the ring on it.
Put some babies in him.
Get some babies going, and then on to the next.
And says, I got to find me a mom to coach with a single son.
Tyreek Hill Jr. I would have thought that was the start of the whole thing. But
There's
apparently,
one?
Tyreek Hill Jr. was born in 2019.
Oh, okay. So he's had 10 kids since 2019.
I don't know if it's 10 since 2019.
Oh.
But I do know right now it's 9. And the wife, Keita Vaquero, has posted the sonogram for number 10. The happy couple. Kinda.
The cigar, the ashtray for her face. That's what he just did with her, right?
What do you think she thinks about the story where he says to the Instagram model / influencer, your son's an offensive lineman, come back to the crib so we can run some drills together, me and you.
What do I think that the fiance is thinking?
Yeah. Like she sees that in the headlines and goes, what?
I better hurry up and get pregnant so I can get this bag because he is.
She's already got it. They're married.
Yeah. Man.
And the fight was about a post-nup. So she was free and clear when they were married.
I don't know, man. I have no idea what you would think if you were the fiance. All I got to say to my dog Tyreek Hill is this, man. Listen, okay? Can I get Sophie Hall's number? That's all I'm at.
Selfish.
Like, I don't know what else you're going to do.
Selfish.
But,
how dare you?
Since you're clearly fighting with her right now, you know what I mean? Before you guys make up. $75,000.
Wild to me.
And the lawyer's like,
that he would have a problem with 75, but then you kind of understand it. You kind of understand it.
10 kids.
Especially in Florida. Now, look, I know a thing or two about child support in Florida. Just say it.
Okay. All right. My dog Aaron Schachter in the building.
Been through that churn.
Big Shaq.
Living it. I'll say this. They base it. I don't know if you know how they do this. No. They take your income. They take the mom's income.
Okay.
Then on another sheet, they go, how much does it cost to have this baby and have it live? Not necessarily have it at the hospital. Once the baby's home, what are you spending on medical? What are you spending on clothing? What are you spending on food? What is the total cost for having and raising this baby?
Okay.
Month to month.
Okay.
Then they take your total income, you, the dad, and the mom, they combine it, and they say, what percentage is Tyreek Hill making? What percentage is Vaccaro making? Keita Vaccaro making? And then Tyreek Hill, you pay that percentage of the child cost. So if Tyreek Hill, and let's say if it costs $1,000 a month for that baby to live the Tyreek Hill lifestyle, we know it's probably way more than that, just out of use of small numbers. If it costs $1,000 a month and Tyreek Hill makes 95% of the money, and she makes 5% of the money, then Tyreek Hill is on the hook for $950 a month, and she's on the hook for $50 a month. Make sense?
A little bit, but they don't take into account that he has 17 other kids.
I don't think that matters.
Oh, that's just dumb math.
Well, this is what happens when you have 10 babies with multiple people. You've got to raise your children, whether you do it physically or financially. You've got to do something.
But how do you negotiate the fact that if I were under the same roof with all 800 kids, then I would have to take into account I have 800 kids. So, the way that my money's spread out, it would have to spread out over 800 kids. It sounds like what you're saying is each individual kid, depending on how the child support is working for that particular mom who's filing for the child support, they treat that kid as if it's an only child and it needs to live to the standard.
Well, you're
based
not
on
wrong.
That formula.
You aren't wrong. According to Florida family law, if a parent's ordered to pay child support, which clearly Tyreek Hill has been, it can affect the amount of support required for other children.
Oh, okay.
And that is reasonable.
Still a lot of money, though.
A ton of money. It's not cheap to raise children. One child is not cheap. How many thousands, hundreds of millions of people go, I would love to have a baby with my husband or my wife. We just can't afford it right now.
Yeah, plenty.
Newsflash, you're never going to be able to afford it. It's never going to happen.
All right.
It's a little more. But it's never, newsflash.
You're
Breaking
never
news.
gonna
It's
afford
never
it.
going to happen. It doesn't matter how much money you have.
So just be broke. Go ahead and have it.
You just work it into your life somehow.
I like it.
You just kind of slide it in there. You stop spending on the other things. Whichever bill comes first, that's who's getting paid.
So hurry up. It's a race.
Let's go. 10 kids, man. 10 kids. And I'm not saying that he doesn't see these kids because I think the story is that they all kind of hang around him.
Nice.
I don't think they all live with him by any stretch. But I do think they're in his life. I mean, it's the least you could expect.
I hope, you'd hope.
Especially as a football player. It's not like you're some attentive dad who's there all the time. You're trading like school plays for OTAs.
Okay.
Dropping bars on you.
Yeah.
Trading
Schachter.
Charlie Brown for touchdowns. I can keep it going.
Bars.
Instead, we'll take a break. We'll come back with What Did We Learn on the Aaron Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. What did you learn today on the show? That's next, right here.
Hi, everyone. Terry Norvell here, along with Patrick Young from the Young and Norvell Show.
Our show is going great, and we are looking to grow the show with some new advertising partners.
If you're a business owner looking to market your product or service to a male, high-income, and college-educated audience, we are the show for you.
Just reach out for more information with a call or a text to 904-305-7526.
That's right. I'll get in touch with you, and we'll put together a budget-friendly marketing plan on our show exclusively for your business. Call or text me, Terry Norvell. That number again, 904-305-7526, and let's get you on our team.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Small business owners are faced with an endless array of challenges, and security for today's business is right up there at the top of the list. You should know that in addition to top-notch security systems, SafeTouch Security offers smarter solutions for your business. SafeTouch provides 24/7 video surveillance and a whole lot more. Get video alerts from motion detection cameras, customized and controlled from the mobile app. And introducing SafeTouch's Business Activity Analytics, which helps optimize how your business runs. Monitor crowd gathering, traffic flow, queue monitoring, and that's just the start. SafeTouch isn't just a security company. They're more like a business partner helping to keep an eye on your business. Now that's peace of mind. Crooks know to stay away from SafeTouch houses, and SafeTouch businesses are no different. Right now, SafeTouch Security is offering a once-a-year deal which can save you up to 50% on your commercial-grade security package. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
Hi, this is Chelsea from Renewal by Anderson. Now's the time to get your custom windows and doors. Through the month of May, buy 2 windows and or patio doors and get the third 60% off. Plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year. Some restrictions apply. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Go to rbafla.com to book your design consultation today. License number CGC 1527613.
Howard works from home. I try to keep things professional. But stuff happens. Now Howard and his wife are working with Community First on a home equity loan to make renovations to his home with no closing costs and special low rates, so Howard can build the office of his dreams.
So live your best life.
With Community First. Learn more at communityfirstfl.org. Member NCUA.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-509-2228. 888-509-2228. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, an avocado consultant from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Dave Ortega. Okay, Dave, here's your question. Your house is not bad in the morning, but by the afternoon, your AC can barely keep up, even with the curtains closed. What do you do?
Can I buy a vowel?
Not that kind of show, Dave.
Can I spin the wheel?
Yeah, we don't even have a wheel, Dave.
Can I phone a friend? Can I call Bueller?
That's right, Dave. Call Bueller Air and Plumbing to assess your home's airflow and sunlight patterns and let us optimize your air conditioning so that you are cool.
This is the happiest day of my life.
Well, you gotta get out more, Dave.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. Time for one of my favorite segments. Really my favorite segment. It's called What Did I Learn?
The Aaron Schachter Show has come to an end. But before we go, one more game, my friends. I know it's time to go, but before we let you adjourn, it's time for us to play What Did I Learn?
What did I learn? Is where we go back over the whole show. We talk about things we learned today, and I'll get us kicked off. Early in the show, we learned that Brian thinks the 2023 social media team for the Jaguars beats the 2024 social media team in a cage match. That was interesting to learn.
Okay.
I was shocked.
That was good. Aaron Schachter, I learned, after looking more closely at the Jags schedule this season, that for all the wins that I'm giving them, I only think that they're one game better than the terrible season that happened last year at 10-7.
You really thought you were giving them lots of wins.
I was, and then I looked up and, hey, 10-7.
You were a little shocked. I learned that the Dolphins should just pack it up after week 13 and stop wasting everybody's time.
Really?
It's just enough already.
Temperatures under 60 degrees, just
why are you pretending?
Knock it off.
Just go.
I learned that, after more research into this young lady, I don't know if she's young or not, I would...
Sophie Hall?
Yeah, I would turn my back on probably everybody in this building in need of help if she told me to.
That's not nice at all.
I'm learning on the fly, Aaron.
Sticking with Sophie Hall, I learned that you want to teach her how to play offensive lineman. She didn't get the whole lesson from Tyreek.
Hey, man, listen, I don't got $75,000, but you know.
I also learned that Kilkenny starred as Baby Herman in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Wow.
4 years old, smoking cigars.
Yeah.
It's a wild life.
I learned that Kilkenny also probably hustled millions of people from the age of 4 to, I don't know, somewhere around 30 or 40 whenever he stopped.
He's definitely older than 40 now.
Yeah, I'm saying he stopped, you know what I mean? He wanted to live the straight life.
That's an old man.
Yeah,
You can tell by his voice. Very weathered.
Wow.
And finally, I learned
Not that weathered.
Finally, I learned Tyreek Hill's baby rotation gets more floor time than anybody in Tom Thibodeau's rotation.
Hey!
Well, NBA action right there. This has been the Aaron Schachter Show. It's been fun. Matter of fact, we still have a couple more. We rushed through that. We still got a couple more minutes, I'm happy to say.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, as long as we have a couple more minutes, can I finally just at least acknowledge Kelsey Plum? Who is Kelsey Plum?
Hey, man.
You know who Kelsey Plum is.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I don't think the audience knows.
Oh, okay. Kelsey Plum was the all-time leading scorer in women's college basketball for a minute before Caitlin Clark took that over. She now plays for the Las Vegas Aces.
The Aces.
She's a champion.
She is a champion.
She kind of looks like the Joker, but hey.
You think her smile looks a little Jokerish.
Oh, it definitely does. She definitely got beat
you're
for
a
Bruce
fan.
Wayne.
You're a fan.
Absolute fan.
And lately I've been a fan. Wait, can you just check to see if my wife's listening right now?
I don't see her.
Okay, great. All right,
yeah.
I've been a fan recently, too.
Yeah, you have.
Apparently, she was married to Darren Waller. They announced a couple of weeks ago they're getting a divorce. And since then, to quote Barstool, she has been on a heater.
Yeah, boy.
Every post on Instagram and Twitter. Another wild outfit. She signed a deal with Skims. Shout out to Skims. Gotta love Skims.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't wear any of it.
It sounds like you do. We got to be real with you.
Can
we bring that music back up?
I will say.
Okay.
I will say, if it gets me in the photo shoot, I'll wear it. Because that seems like a fun place to hang out.
What photo shoot?
Any of the photo shoots.
Oh, okay, with Skims.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Kelsey Plum decided, I'm not just going to post one picture with the hashtag for the commercial. I'm posting all the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Then she shows up before a game in a leather vest, no shirt, no bra.
Ooh. Nasty work in a good way.
Keeping it profesh.
Aaron, I also learned, actually I knew, but I just want to say it, I've also relearned that she does date and marry big black dudes. I'm in there, my boy.
Oh, you think you're first on the list?
I'm in
It goes
there.
Darren Waller, Brian Middleton.
Why not? You got to have that confidence before anybody
I would
else
say
will.
the bank account would be the main reason. I don't think she's going to be okay with Taco Lou.
Hey, man, listen, she might, be running, that part of the relationship, man.
And again, she's probably making $30,000 a year in the WNBA.
Be real with you. We making the same, huh?
You know what I mean?
We 50-50 in this
So
piece.
it's almost like you see eye to eye on it anyway. Shout out to you. Finding matches all over the place. Back with a Friday edition of A Friday Show tomorrow on the Aaron Schachter Show. Lots of fun to come here on ESPN 690. We'll see you guys then.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
Main office, Jacksonville. Spring has sprung, and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages, including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate, or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Why Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned? I'll tell you why. Over 600 vehicles in stock, one location. That's over 275 SUVs, over 200 cars, over 110 pickups. Arlington Pre-Owned even has 125 vehicles under $18,000. Plus, now you get 60 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And Arlington's Credit for Everyone program. Oh, and did I mention the Summer Starts Here sales event is going on right now, even on used. Shop 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or arlingtontoyota.com.
Controversial cop training.
I love violence. I love shooting.
Banned in 9 states, but now it's coming to Florida. Laced with profanity and so-called locker room talk.
You gotta be gigolo.
Action News Jack's Megan Moriarty shows you what's behind the training doors.
Could we talk to you a little bit about the conference?
Depends on what it's about.
Is this raw police coaching headed in the wrong direction or making Jacksonville safer? Today at 5:45 on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Jacksonville Cougars. It's me, Soccer Sam from Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizzeria is now open in Jacksonville, Florida. Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. $10 daily deals, dine-in beer and wine, and delivery. Salvatores.com.
If your body is starting to feel its age, it's time to fight back. BioTarget Regenerative Therapy targets pain at its source, rejuvenating your body's natural healing process. If you don't feel results after your first treatment, we'll refund the cost. It's our rapid results risk-free promise. End the creaks, crunches, and snaps in your joints. Call 904-92-REGEN. That's 904-92-REGEN to experience the transformative power of BioTarget for yourself. Targeted treatments, rapid recovery. Go biotarget.com for details.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
He really loves. He loves basketball, he loves college basketball, and he loves being a provocative talk.
Now, your chance to win $1,000 as ESPN 690 wants to pay your bills. Sponsored by Underwood Jewelers, 3 Jacksonville locations in San Marco, Ponte Vedra Beach, and Avondale.
Enter the word MAGIC, MAGIC, at ESPN690.com by 15 past the hour.
Your next chance to win $1,000 and have ESPN 690 pay your bills happens tomorrow morning at 8.
This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply.
I'm Doug Brown. One game in the NBA playoffs tonight. It's Game 6 for the Nuggets and Timberwolves in Minneapolis. Denver with a 3-2 series lead. Nuggets guard Jamal Murray.
I think we got to go in there with the same attitude we did last time we went there. We know the place is going to be rocking. We know they're going to come out aggressive. So I think for us, it's just focusing on us, focusing on the energy we bring, focusing on how we come out to start each quarter.
Jamal Murray, our coverage of Nuggets and Timberwolves at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and TV. 76ers guard Tyrese Maxey wins the Joe Dumars Trophy and the NBA Sportsmanship Award. He also won the Most Improved Player Award earlier. First round of the PGA Championship, Xander Schauffele at 9 under after a bogey-free 62. He leads by 3 over Tony Finau and Sahith Theegala. Live coverage right now on ESPN and ESPN+. In the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight, Game 6, Rangers and Hurricanes. New York leading 3-2. Game 5 for the Oilers and Canucks. That series tied at 2.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming on Friday. I'll tell you if the Mavs have shown me enough to believe that they can win a title. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
From Studio 2 at the worldwide headquarters of ESPN and the HD studio in Atlanta, Georgia.
That's good.
This is Freddie and Harry.
If you can't get to the NBA Finals or win the NBA championship, Boston, don't look at anybody else. You better go in your bathroom and look in the mirror, because that is who's going to be to blame for that, whether you're Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and anybody else wearing the green and white in Boston.
The path already that they've taken, they beat Miami 4-1. Okay, they was drinking sex on the beach, having a hell of a time.
Okay.
They just beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 4-1. Whether you want a Long Island iced tea or whether you want a Mai Tai. Okay. Damn it, that's what they've been drinking in the first and second rounds. Now the third round,